I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The commander-in-chief is touting a preliminary peace agreement with Iran. It's a deal that President Trump says will result in a full reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, as well as a lifting of the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports. It could be signed Friday. Many details have yet to be revealed, and uncertainty does remain over the future of the Iranian nuclear program. President Trump is on his way to Europe for the G7 summit. Along with the Iran situation, Russia's war on Ukraine will be discussed. Russia has launched another massive attack on its neighbor. Joining a growing list of countries, Britain plans to ban the under-16 crowd from using a range of social media apps. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures 500 points higher. The Nasdaq futures are up 655 points. More details, srnnews.com.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Lucas Kenny. Just before 3:30 p.m. on Thursday, June 11th, a 2026 Honda HR-V was traveling northbound on US 283 in Graham County, which was approximately 1 mile south of Hill City, when suddenly the vehicle veered across the lanes and struck the north guardrail of a bridge. The driver was taken to the Graham County Hospital with suspected minor injuries. In other news, Burt Mosier with Sherman County Community Development joined the Good Neighbor Hour, which you can listen to weekday mornings on Rocket 102.5 KLOE, and he joined the show to update a few different things with the organization. One of those was different loan and grant opportunities that they have.
We still have programs that we can help you out with. If you're thinking about starting a business, expanding your business, we can do a lot of different things. We have a couple of loan programs. We have an e-community.
For more information, visit nwksradio.net.
This morning, skies will clear and become mostly sunny for this afternoon, and highs will reach into the lower 80s. Winds will remain light out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and scattered showers and storms are possible this evening south and east of the line from Norton to Tribune. Low chance that any of these storms would become severe. Overnight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows in the lower 50s, and tomorrow could see some morning patchy fog give way to a hot and mostly sunny afternoon. Highs will peak around 90, with humidity dropping significantly in the teens, creating elevated fire weather conditions. Evening lows will stay mild around 63, and then for Wednesday will be the hottest day of the week, bringing intense sunshine and highs in the upper 90s, potentially reaching into the low 100s in counties south of I-70. Breezy south winds will pick up, driving the critical fire weather threat higher. This meteorologist Chris Schromick, the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority.
We've been serving ag families for generations. because we believe farming isn't just a job, it's a legacy. Whether you're just starting out or expanding your operation, F&B Bank has flexible lending solutions designed for you. This is Loan Officer Kennedy Frank at F&B Bank. We're proud to be your hometown ag lender, member FDIC.
Irrigators, after 50 years, when you look in the mirror, you might see that your hair is thinning. And the same can be said for your well casing after 50 years of pumping. A thinning well casing can lead to the well collapsing and needing to be re-drilled. So to keep from pulling your hair out, now is the time to visit with the boys at Western Sprinklers about relining your well before it's too late. Also, visit with them about their diversified ag insurance, where you can insure pivots up to 34 years old. Irrigation isn't a sideline, it's their specialty.
That's Western Sprinklers of Colby.
Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland is rolling into summer with big offers on new GMCs. Get a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 elevation with $7,000 customer cash with trade-in or 0% for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days. Need heavy duty? Get the 26 GMC Sierra 2500 with $1,000 in rebates or 4.9% for 48 months. Plus save on 26 GMC Terrain and Arcadias with over $1,000 in rebates when you finance with GM Financial. See Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas or online at earlchev.com. GMC, professional grade.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer and Garrett Wellbrock.
Rise and shine! It's butt whipping time.
The High Plains only local sports talk show, broadcasting live on Goodlands Rocket 102.5 KLOE and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Discussing it all from the preps to the pros.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City!
The Blitz is presented by Earl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank, along with
IdeaTech Fiber Internet, Topside Portables and Pumping, The Insurance Agency, Pest Away, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Let's go to work.
First pitch to him here. Swung on, driven to left. That's deep into the corner. Track. Whoa. Gone. Big Maple did it in Omaha. Wemby floats for 3. No good with 1 second to go. It's over. At long last, for the first time in 53 years, the New York Knicks are the world champs. The 3-2 is hammered. This is going to be long gone. Almost over the berm. It did go over the berm and right. Touch 'em all time. A 2-homer game for Willie Castro.
And they're going to clinch it appropriately with a total team effort and a shutout.
The Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup for the second time.
Good Monday morning, everybody. It is the Morning Blitz on Rocket 1025 KLOE, NWKSradio.net, and the Earl Chevrolet GMC video stream on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm Ross Volkmer. Garrett Wellbrock with us again from Colby Land. Garrett, good morning. I was thinking about this as I was coming to the show. Was this the first weekend you've spent in Colby?
It was funny. I actually got asked to go play some golf back in Hayes, so I ended up going back home. But yes, these next few weekends I will be here. But actually, no, I did stay 1 weekend, but when I moved in before I went on vacation. So
okay, so never mind. I thought that might have been the first weekend. It would have been something we could have chatted about a little bit. Was your first weekend in Colby? But heck, you went back to Hayes to play some golf. So.
Yeah, couldn't pass it up.
How was the golf game this weekend?
Wasn't bad, it was better than I expected. I haven't really played that much this year, so I was happy with how I played.
It's usually like I don't play very much. I used to play a lot, and now I just don't play as much anymore. Time just don't have time with it with 3 little ones. But it's always funny when I go play the once or twice a year, and particularly the first round of the year, I'm like, that wasn't all that bad. Man, imagine how if I played, every day, I might be pretty good at this. That's how I think. And then if I play more than like 4 times, like the 4th time, you're just like, I'm horrible at this game.
Yeah.
It's like beginner's luck for the year. beginner's luck for the year. Sometimes what I just, and for the only time I play, sometimes in the course of a year. But good Monday morning, everybody. Glad you're with us. It is June the 15th. It is overcast and 53 degrees outside the KLOE studios here in Goodland, working our way up to a high of 79. Going to be a warmer day today than it was yesterday for sure. Yesterday, a beautiful evening for sure, and a beautiful day. And we will have a little bit warmer temperatures this week. But currently cloudy and 53 to get this week going here as we've reached the midpoint of June already. It's hard to believe, but we are already what? I mean, if you want to break it down, or what would you say? You're a fifth of the way through the summer break already? I mean, kind of. I'd say about a fifth of the way.
Yeah, probably.
So we are off and rolling here on a Monday show. Today's program, we will be breaking down the weekend with our weekend winners and losers coming up here in just a little bit. We will get a recap from our picks of the weekend, and we have some weekend leftovers to get to as well, I'm sure, coming up a little bit later on in the show. As always, the FB Bank text line is open at 785-899-2222. If you'd like to be part of the Morning Blitz, you can hit us up there, get your thoughts, your comments, your weekend winners and losers. Anything else exciting happen in Hayes besides golf, or was it just a trip to Hayes and back?
Yeah, it was pretty much that. I stayed on Saturday night, but I came up yesterday and just went out. I actually got to go to the country club. That's why I really came back. Usually I play at the municipal one, the public course, so I was able to go to the country club, and I was, can't really pass those opportunities.
Live on the high life a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I don't play it often, maybe once a year, so I got my fix in.
There you go. Got the fix in. But he's back, and we are ready to roll on this weekend. Of course, our opening segment today, sponsored by R&R Custom Building. If you're in need of some new gutters due to all the storm activity that's been happening here recently, you want to make sure that you get a hold of the Mike and Dax Reese of R&R Custom Building. They're your two local football coaches and construction guys with more than 20 gutter color options. And, of course, that great experience to get your home not only looking right, but protecting your home when the storms hit again. So if you're in need of some new gutters, call R&R Custom Building, and they can get you set up right. And if you're a fan of Goodland High School and Goodland programs, they can help you out even more by giving $1 back per foot installed to the program of your choice. So if it's football, baseball, basketball, band, science, Olympiad, whatever it might be, if you want to help out a Goodland GHS program this coming year, R&R Custom Building is willing to help them out, giving $1 back per square foot of guttering that you buy for your home. Goes back to a program of your choice for Goodland High School. So you can upgrade your gutters and give back to the Cowboys and Cowgirls at the same time. Be sure to call Mike and Dax Reese today. R&R Custom Building, 785-821-1432. Once again, 785-821-1432, the number to call for R&R Custom Building. Once again, get those gutters redone in the house, get your place looking good and protected. And then, of course, you can, so they will be giving back. If you're a fan of Goodland, you say, I want to give some money back towards this program, whatever it may be. Okay, they can do that for you. So once again, R&R Custom Building, our sponsor of segment number one, which is, of course, the way we kick off every week here on the Morning Blitz, weekend winners and losers.
There are two kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners. Loser! You're a loser!
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
You want to be a winner, be a winner.
Well, I felt like there were plenty of options for weekend winners this past weekend, besides Garrett getting to play at the Hayes Country Club. So, I mean, who else was winners of the weekend, Garrett?
My first winner. Now there might be some more obvious ones, as we heard in some of the audio when we started the show off with all the championships being won over the weekend. But I'm going to start with Oklahoma baseball. They get a dominant first round win against Alabama, 9-0, kind of continuing off their super regional victory versus Kansas. And they seem to be like a really tough team to beat right now in Omaha.
Yeah, it's been an interesting College World Series thus far. Been a lot. I mean, that was pretty much the only real game that was truly lopsided. A lot of the games have been pretty close for the most part. Currently, right now, as we sit here at this point in time in the Men's College World Series after the first 3 days of tournament action, you have North Carolina sitting in what we like to call the catbird seat at 2-0, which means they're only a win or so away from advancing to the national championship game. But they are 2-0 after they beat West Virginia. last night, 5-2. The Mountaineers were right in it. They had just a blunder of a half inning defensively. Had a couple of could have turned a couple double plays, couldn't get it done. Had a blunder in the outfield, and it resulted in North Carolina getting a win over West Virginia. And so you've got West Virginia and Troy, who came from behind last night, or should you say yesterday, over Ole Miss. That was a great pick by your boy. Ray, you said, who's your pick to win the World Series? I'll take Ole Miss. Well, they were the first team out. So it tells you I know absolutely nothing. But Ole Miss is out. Troy is still alive. They will play, I think it's Tuesday, against West Virginia in a game there that is another elimination game between those two teams. You mentioned Oklahoma looked really good. Rager, what's a great last name. Their pitcher, Rager, he was unbelievable. He was on a Rager. He was phenomenal on the mound, pitching a shutout there against Alabama. And Oklahoma's in, like you said, in a great spot. They played Georgia tonight in a 1-on-1 in a 1-0 type game where once again the winner gets to 2-0. And then in the loser side of the bracket, you've got Texas and Alabama. That's an early game today at around 1:00 Central Time, noon Mountain is when that all gets going. So that's an update from the Men's College World Series there for you real quickly. But yeah, Oklahoma's having a great start. We'll see if they can get to that magical 2-0. That's where you want to get when you get to these tournaments. Whether it's regional, whether it's regionals, super regionals, or the College World Series, you want to get to 2-0 because you're in just a phenomenal spot to advance to the next round, or in this case, to the championship game series coming up starting next week. So yeah, great start to the Men's College World Series. Had some great weather as well and some exciting games. Like I said, yesterday's Troy game against Ole Miss, that was a back and forth affair. Troy was down 4. They ended up winning by 4, 12-8. In a come-from-behind fashion. So been some really good games. I'm also going to start with an oddball winner of the weekend. We can dive more into the obvious ones. But my oddball winner, I'm going to give it to K-State distance jumpers in track and field. I don't know if anybody's been following this, but the track and field national championships, outdoor championships, are taking place in Eugene, Oregon this past weekend. And K-State men had not only a long jump national champ, but a triple jump national championship. I'm going to butcher these names. Ta Chimkomba was the men's long jump champion for Kansas State. And then Selva Prabhu was the triple jump national championship, which marked the first time K-State produced 2 men's outdoor NCAA champions in the same season. And because of those 2, they were part of a Wildcat team that finished 8th in the team standings with 30 points. That's their highest finish since 1998 and the best point total, those 30 points, in program history. And so not only if you're the jumps coach there at Kansas State, you're like, I need a raise. All right, I need a raise. I just went out here and we have the national champion in the long jump and the triple jump here in Manhattan, and we just went out and proved it the outdoors. Chimkomba won the Big 12 outdoor, the indoor, and he won the outdoor national championship as well. I mean, he won all 3. That's a great showing from Cha Chimkomba. But those 2 gentlemen, national champs in the long and the triple jump.
I hear that they're calling K-State Jumping University now. As like you see that in like football, where like I think they call like
quarterback U or linebacker U.
Exactly, that's jumping you.
Yeah, jumping you. I guess I suppose. See, but I don't know about the high jump though. There's high jumping in there.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, overall, it was a great weekend for some regional athletes, or regional college athletes, if you want to call it that, because not only did Kansas State have 2 national champs, but Nebraska had 2 national champs as well. They had Alexa Johansson win the shot put again, and also set the outdoor meet record with her shot put over 50 feet. It was impressive. And then I think he's a sophomore. Dyson Wicker came out of nowhere and won the pole vault, setting personal bests there in Eugene, Oregon for Dyson Wicker. So Nebraska had a couple national champs. Kansas State had a couple national champs. So a pretty good showing from a few of the regional colleges at the NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships up at Eugene, Oregon this past weekend. So,
I wonder if it's hard for some of these athletes that are in the spring season that have to, they've been out of school for about a month now, just practicing basically throughout the summer when there's really, nobody on campus. Of course, you got baseball still going on, and now the track and field championships kind of wrapping up. But yeah, I've always wondered that just how long the spring seasons go in college athletics.
There's a lot. It's pretty dense. I mean, but the thing is, I think like the indoor goes quite a while. Like I feel like indoor goes into like February or even early March.
Mm-hmm.
And so the outdoor season, I think, is actually pretty short. Like I think it's like March, April, May. So, you're looking at, maybe 4 months of competition, maybe. And that's on par with most sports, 3 to 4 months a season. But yeah, it is. There are some long seasons for sure. I mean, softball is ridiculous. Softball starts in February, pretty much. Then they go March, April, May, June. I mean, they got 4 good months almost in there too. So yeah, it's different when it's not just every Saturday.
Yeah.
You're seeing and you have multiple series throughout the course of a week. It's just a lot of games. When you see these records, of like 51-12, you're like, good Lord, that's a lot of games. It's just a lot of competition. That's for sure. Let's see here. Jared H chimes in FB Bank text line talking about my winner of the week is it helps when K-State's jumping coach is an Olympic gold medalist. Always helps to have a great teacher. That's for sure. And I did not know that he was Olympic gold medalist, but that is fantastic to see. Lucas chimes in his winner of the weekend to his friend and former Cloud teammate Vincent, who plays third in the discus at the NCAA championships. Also 3 to 4 other JUCO prospects, which I had the pleasure of competing against in just the discus that placed in the top 8. So Lucas is pretty much trying to tell us that he just bumped elbows with, pretty much national title contenders and that he was really good himself. Just want to let you know that I compete against these guys. He nods his head. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Oh, that's great. Weekend winners here on the Morning Blitz. What else you got?
I'm going to go with Willie Castro on the Rockies. Speaking of yesterday on the Rockies, with the 23 runs scored in Vegas. But Willie Castro specifically goes 4 for 6. It's 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, a grand slam, and a 2-run homer. Just what a day. 7 RBIs, 2 extra base hits. That's a pretty good day for the Rockies just in general, but Willie Castro kind of the star.
Yeah, the Rockies were in a bad spot. They had lost, I think, 4 in a row, and they had lost both games to the Athletics there in that game. But the Rockies took out their frustrations yesterday with a franchise record 23 runs on 24 hits in a 23-9 just hit fest. There were 39 hits. 39 hits.
Seems like Vegas. I keep seeing Vegas. It's kind of like at least the minor league park they're playing in right now is very little league-ish because those balls are like pop-ups that are getting out. And, the Rockies, they probably used all their runs for the week, unfortunately for them. Yeah. We'll see what happens the rest of the week.
We'll score the rest of the week. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Willie Castro. Hunter Goodman had a good day. He went 5 of 6, 2 home runs, 3 runs, and 4 RBIs. So he had a great day. Kyle Carlos, 4 of 6, 2 RBI. You had Troy Johnson, 2 for 5, 4 RBI. I mean, the numbers were just ridiculous. The box score is nuts when you look at the Rockies, but a franchise record, 23 runs scored in that 23-9 win. I was kind of tracking that game yesterday, and because it buzzes on my watch whenever a score change happens, and it was like in the 5th inning when I think they scored. How many runs did they score in the 5th? Yeah, that 6th run, top of the 5th, and it just kept buzzing like buzz, run. I'm like, good Lord! And there were 2 outs. It's like, are the Athletics going to get out of this thing? And then I stepped out of my vehicle for a while to go to my daughter's practice, and I come back in. It's like the final score 23, and I was like, holy cow, 23-9. Wow. I guess I didn't know. Did the Athletics have to have somebody throw that was not a pitcher? Does anybody know? Did we have yes, Carlo Cortez had to come in, the right fielder. He had to throw. Carlos Cortez, the right fielder, had to go in and throw an inning and 2/3.
Yeah, that's not, usually you go in and get an out or two. No, you had to go full inning and plus.
Yeah, he had to go an inning and 2/3. Only gave up 1 run on 3 hits. I mean, he did better than some of the Athletics pitchers. He did better than that. So shout out to Carlos Cortez on a great relief performance out of right field for the Athletics there yesterday. Never good when you have a fielder throwing in the Major League Baseball game. It's never a good sign usually. Weekend winners here on the Morning Blitz. My next winner, it's going to be an obvious one, but the New York Knicks are the probably the biggest winners of the entire weekend. Probably the Knicks and their fan base as they come from behind again to beat the San Antonio Spurs. They're in the NBA Finals, game number 5, winning their first NBA title in 53 years. They get it done. 94-90, the final score. Once again, the Knicks off to a bad start. They were down 10 at the end of the first quarter. They had cut it down to 5 going into halftime. Then they just kept chipping away. And by the time they got late in the fourth quarter, they took the lead behind, once again, Captain Clutch himself, Jalen Brunson, 45 points in the win. And he was named and should have been named Finals MVP. He was absolutely fantastic, as he has the next highest score for the Knicks was Mikal Bridges at 14. So, yeah, that was interesting to say the very least. But this was an unbelievable run by the New York. I don't want to say unbelievable. That's probably not the right word there. But this was just such a remarkable run by the New York Knicks. You know, you listen to people who know NBA basketball and follow it very closely. And a lot of people say, this is a good Knicks team, but it's not exactly the biggest, the most dominant, team to ever win it. It was the right collection of guys that came together and complemented each other. It was just a great team, and that resulted in them winning a world championship there in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to Jalen Brunson because he took like $113 million pay cut so they could fill out their roster to do this. That takes a lot out of your star guy to be like, yeah, I don't want to get the super max deal because I want to win. And I mean, I got to give a lot of credit to him. And they lost 3 games in this entire playoffs. 6 points was their deficits in those losses. So they lost by 1 twice and then lost by 4 in game 3 of the NBA Finals. Just pretty incredible run from the New York Knicks. And honestly, I was wondering if, you got to give the Knicks their flowers, but you could also put the Spurs in the loser category because obviously they were up in every single game and just could not find ways to close it out. They always had some sort of errors late in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks, got to give them credit, took advantage.
I'm going to blame the Spurs losing this championship on youth. That's what I'm going to blame it on. And I know that's kind of a, whatever, kind of get me out. I'm just going to say this is a young Spurs team with a lot of youth, and I think the Spurs are going to be around for a very long time. I don't think your Thunder are going to have an easy road to the final, probably again. But the Knicks win 94-90. The NBA now has had 8 consecutive years of a different NBA champion. That's great for business, getting other teams in there. And I read, that the Fanatics, the team apparel store, apparently is having unbelievable sales of Knicks apparel because of this. It's just been crazy to watch the New York Knicks and what they've done. But 94-90, they're your NBA champs. No doubt a winner of the weekend. Jalen Brunson not taking the max deal to me just sounds so Jalen Brunson-y. He's about winning. He's not, he's about winning.
Yep.
Here's the thing, and this could be a question, a great topic for later on. If you're in Jalen Brunson or somebody likes that shoes, do you take the max deal for yourself, or do you not take the money and put it towards your team? Because you might make more money in the future if you win a title, for example, based upon deals and things like that in a city like New York because of your legacy. You might make just as much money by winning instead of just, getting paid out the door. It's hard to say. You never know. But yeah, a huge tip to those guys that say, I'm willing to take a pay cut, not get paid my value because I want to win. I want to win. Those guys deserve big, big flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just a true winner. 2 championships in college, now 1 in the NBA. And pretty cool that they were able to get all their Villanova buddies and then run it back in the NBA.
Jay Wright is smiling.
Yeah.
Jay Wright is smiling. Any other winners for you this weekend?
I'll go with the Hurricanes, too. The other champion crowning last night. Pretty special win. They shut out the Golden Knights to win, was it 3 in a row? And they were down 2-1. They win 3 in a row and get the Stanley Cup.
Great win for them. Their coach, I can't say his name, but it's like Bryn Arnault or something like that. He becomes the 7th coach ever to win a Stanley Cup title. as both a player and as a coach for the same franchise. He was the one that helped them win it back in 2006, the last time that they got it done for the Carolina Hurricanes. And then one more quick small winner for me, the Chicago White Sox. Shout out to the Pale Hose. They beat the Dodgers in a series this past weekend for the first time in 11 years. I know they're not in the same division. I know they don't play almost every single year, but that's a long time to go without beating a team. 11 years, the White Sox get it done. Just remember, you know what? It should be like a signal, a sign in the future for Rockies fans. You know what? No matter how bad you are, you can still be really good in the years to come. The White Sox were horrific just a few years ago. They have completely gutted the house. They have rebuilt it really nicely, and they're a really good baseball team this year, and they beat the Dodgers for the first time in 11 years. Shout out White Sox, another winner of the weekend.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
All right, I don't have a ton of losers, but I'll let you go. What do you got for losers this weekend?
Yeah, I have a few. I'm going to start with James Harden in the NBA. I don't know if you saw that news, but he got arrested in Houston on a misdemeanor charge of carrying a weapon in a vehicle. Off-season news, but yeah, James Harden, he's going to be my first loser getting arrested.
My loser is kind of in the same boat. Phil Mickelson, also a loser of the weekend, as he lost his membership to one of his golf clubs that he plays at in San Diego. He got a little too handsy with some of the staff there. So Phil Mickelson, loser of the weekend. I don't know. Ever since Phil got out of the PGA and went over to the dark side of LIV, he's just kind of become an odd duck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's before. Maybe it was when he got skinny because all he drank was coffee. Maybe it was that when he got a little bit evil.
I know. I used to like him a lot, and yeah, ever since he made that move to LIV, it's just like he's just been, I don't even know the right words to use, but it's just he's not been a good dude, to say the least.
Kind of slimy. Kind of nasty. Phil
exactly.
Mickelson. So there you go. Other losers of the weekend.
Well, I'm going to go with your championship pick in Ole Miss to go 0-2 in the College World Series. They do, Troy gets their first ever College World Series win, so congrats to them. But, I mean, Ole Miss, they were up decent, and they were up by like 3 or 4 runs in that game and ended up losing by 4 runs. They have given up 18 in the first 2 games of the College World Series, or their only 2 games of the College World Series, that is, getting pretty much beat handedly by North Carolina, and then obviously the loss to Troy. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss because kind of like, I was still heavy on them as well. I thought they were going to at least win that first game, maybe go 2-0, but here they are now going home.
Yep, tells you what I know. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's what I know. My final loser of the weekend before we get to a break, World Cup ticket prices. Have you seen some of these videos of what the fans are spending on their tickets to go to the World Cup?
I have not.
I mean, they're spending 4 figures. 4 figures to go to one game in the World Cup. Absolutely ridiculous. Wow. The amount of money that is getting spent on ticket prices. And ticket prices are getting ridiculous all over sports and concerts and events. There's no doubt it's getting ridiculous. But to spend easily over 4 figures to get, I think it's just 2 tickets possibly to get that. I mean, that is absolutely nuts how much they spend on tickets to go to the World Cup. Shout out USA, 4-1 win over Paraguay.
Actually, my buddy that we talked about that last week, my friend that came through, Colby, going up to Wyoming, he's a big soccer guy. He's got some tickets for next week in Kansas City, but he got them like super early. Like I'm talking like almost a year in advance, and he got them for maybe like $300, he was saying, for each game. So definitely want to buy them.
And he didn't even know who he was going to go see. I mean,
he had no idea. Yeah.
I mean, he just bought them like, I'm going to buy because where he's going to go. I mean, he has no idea who he's going to go see at that point in time. So that's why they weren't that expensive.
Exactly.
If you knew who he's going to play, I mean, shoot, $1,000 for a single game on ticket is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You're going to absolutely force fans to not come and attend these things. They can go stay home and save some money. That's what they can do. My goodness. Absolutely ridiculous there. Before we get to break, FE Bank text line 785-899-2222. Steve from Binkelman says he wants to give his winner of the weekend to Nebraska shortstop Dylan Carey. Won the Brooks Wallace Award for the nation's best nation's best shortstop. I don't know what I'm saying there. And he also says Savannah and the Bananas, they were in Nebraska, definitely a winner. Fantastic entertainment there from the Savannah Bananas this weekend up in Nebraska. And let's see here. Rob chiming in with a winner of the weekend. He goes, I wouldn't walk across, or this is actually a comment about this. I wouldn't walk across the street to watch a World Cup game if it was free. Oh, there you go. Rob, not a big soccer fan, apparently. Rob is not a big soccer fan. And let's see, a weekend winner. I don't even know how to, this is from Coach Dawson Raymer chiming with his winner of the weekend. I don't even know how to say that. The guy from UFC, Justin, is it Gates? I don't even know how to say that name. Title belt winner at the White House last night. Yeah, they had UFC at the White House last night, which I read was quite interesting to see.
Yeah, I didn't watch, but
I'm not a big UFC watcher. It's not my thing, so that's all right. There you go. Weekend winners and losers here on a Monday edition of the Morning Blitz. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Picks of the weekend. How did we do? Well, we all know that Ross failed already at his College World Series pick, so it's not off to a great start. But I did pick one game right. I do know that, at least. We'll get to that all next with our Picks of the Weekend recap next here on a Monday morning, the Morning Blitz.
Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland is rolling into summer with big offers on new GMCs. Get a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 elevation with $7,000 customer cash with trade-in or 0% for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days. Need heavy duty? Get the 26 GMC Sierra 2500 with $1,000 in rebates or 4.9% for 48 months. Plus save on 26 GMC Terrain and Arcadias with over $1,000 in rebates when you finance with GM Financial. See Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas or online at earlchev.com. GMC, professional grade.
You can feel it in the air. Longer days, greener lawns, and plenty of projects waiting around the house. Good thing Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland has you covered. Freshen up your home with Benjamin Moore paint, tackle the yard with powerful Ego battery tools, and give your lawn the boost it needs with Stage 1 Ultimate Fertilizer. Thinking about cooking outside? Check out their great selection of grills, griddles, smokers, and outdoor living essentials. And remember, if you need it, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware probably has it. They even have milk. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, your place for just about everything.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, this is Kate Thompson with Skyland Grain. Today is Monday, June 15th. We got a peace deal over the weekend, so grains are weaker today. July corn lower 6.5 at 406 3/4. September down 6.5 at 415. December corn down 6 1/4 at 434.5. July soybeans down 10.5 at 1102 3/4. August down 10.5 at 1108 1/4. November beans down 10.5 at 1122 1/4. July Kansas City wheat down 12 1/4 at 622 1/4. September down 12.5 at 628 1/4. December down 12.5 at 641.5. Chicago wheat July contract lower 13 1/4 at 572. September down 13 3/4 at 582 3/4. December soft wheat down 13 3/4 at 599. On the stock market this morning, the Dow up $529 at 52,134. The S&P up 92 at 7,527. The Nasdaq up 610 at 30,565. Gold higher $130 an ounce at 4,396. Crude oil down $4.65 a barrel at $80.23. If you have any questions about marketing grain, you can call our Colorado office, John Hankey or John Stiles, 970-744-4484. In our Kansas City office, you can reach Tyler Dosch, Tom Zlito, or Jared Law at 913-748-3000. Or our Ulysses, Kansas office, Sydney Warner, Austin Wright, or myself, Kate Thompson, at 602-356-7800.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
If you want to really protect your corn and soybean acres, you need to take your protection to a whole new level with Elevest Insect Control. Elevest Insect Control provides fast-acting, long-lasting residual and broad-spectrum control of lepidopteran insects and many other pests, including stink bugs. Elevate your ROI, elevate your residual control, and elevate your efficiency with Elevest Insect Control. Visit your FMC retailer or elevest.ag.fmc.com. Elevest Insect Control is a restricted use pesticide. Always read and follow all label directions.
At Thrasher Foundation Repair, we promise you an experience so remarkable, you'll want to leave us a 5-star review. From wet basements to bowing walls, sinking concrete to nasty crawl spaces, whatever your home's facing, you can count on Thrasher to fix it right. With over 34,000 5-star reviews and 50 years as a local family-owned company, Thrasher is a name homeowners trust. Schedule your free home inspection today at gothrasher.com.
Quick hits, bold takes, and all the action.
I'll take that action.
Welcome back to the Morning Blitz.
Don't forget to check out our website, nwksradio.net. Lucas does a great job keeping our news up to date. Christina with lots of good news and information as well there. So check that out. And, of course, you can go there to find a link to purchase tickets to our concert coming up here on the 27th. That is going to be a week from this coming Saturday as we'll welcome in Colin Ray as well as Walker Montgomery. So, and don't forget, tomorrow is a Ticket Tuesday where if you stop into the station at either Goodland or in Colby, you can buy a paper ticket and avoid the online ticket fees, in person only. But you can do that. Once again, come to the station on Ticket Tuesday. Or, of course, go online, nwksradio.net, and you can buy them digitally as well. So that's all happening now at the stations of NWKS Radio. Let's get to our picks of the weekend. Let's recap it. All right. How did we do this weekend? I don't know. Gut feelings is I don't feel like I did very good.
Well, it's better than me, actually. So when we look at this, which has been a theme, it seems. I'm right now. Well, coming into the week, I was 5 picks behind, and I'm leaving now 7 picks behind. So,
oh, my.
Yes. So we started with the Astros and Royals in Kansas City. You in Houston, now at KC. And there were some actually decent games. The Astros did take 2 of 3, though, from the Royals. So the Astros, you had them. I had the KC. You get
Royals
the pick, right?
did get it done on Sunday. They did win 4-0 yesterday to avoid a series sweep. Bobby Witt Jr. was his 26th birthday, had some nice defensive plays in the field, went 2 for 4. But Stephen Kolek has been really good for the Royals. I mean, he picked another win. He's 4-1. I mean, he's become kind of their ace.
Yeah, especially with all their injuries they've had in the starting rotation. Seems like every year they're having a lot of issues there the last couple of years. Then we moved to the Rockies. We had the Rockies and A's. I had the A's. You picked Rockies. And Sacramento, Vegas, whatever you want to call them. They did take 2 of 3. So
if you go to ESPN, it's just athletics. That's all it is. There's not even a town in front of it. It's just the athletics.
And then the World Cup, we had Bosnia and Canada, and that was actually a 1-1 tie, which kind of an upset, you could say, for Bosnia. Canada was heavily favored. You went Bosnia. I took Canada, so that's kind of a wash there. There was no win.
No.
Only in soccer you'll see that. And then we had the USA and Paraguay. Both of us took USA. And, of course, they got the victory. One of the best, probably, performances I've ever seen from our men's national team.
I would agree on that. I've never seen a better performance from the U.S. men's national team. And, hell, you listen to a lot of the experts that follow it all the time. They were like, that's the best World Cup performance they've ever seen out of the U.S. Real quick before we move on, can I debate the Rockies' athletics? Because if you add up the total scores, I think the Rockies won that series, right?
That would be something to argue about, yes.
23 runs in a game will help you do that. Anyway, moving on.
And then we had Brazil and Morocco, and this was a really surprise. We both had Brazil. Morocco ties with Brazil. That was another one. I think Brazil was favored by they're like minus 450 or something like that on the betting apps. And that's big. You know, obviously, more teams now make it out of the group stage, which – so, I mean, you really only have to win about one match, but that's still a tie there is kind of shocking in the World Cup.
They aren't happy in the Brazil World Soccer Cup offices yesterday morning. They weren't too thrilled about that.
No, not at all. It's so weird seeing that. Like, they're playing in MetLife Stadium. I just feel like that's so odd to see, like, a World Cup soccer match in a football stadium like we're so used to. Like that. Moving on to the College World Series, first game, West Virginia, Troy. We both took the Mountaineers. They got it done to open up the College World Series. And then we both had Ole Miss beating North Carolina as an upset pick. But UNC now looking really good at 2-0.
Stunk that thing up. That was not good.
Then we did both have the upset of Oklahoma over Alabama, which, I mean, I don't know. OU seems to be like the hottest team right now in the country. And then Georgia and Texas, you took Georgia, I took Texas, and Texas showed really no life in that game, it felt like. I mean, it was all UGA.
I tell you, is it Volkmer, the pitcher for Georgia? God, he was electric. 15 strikeouts in a complete gamer. He was unbelievable for Georgia. And golly, that's not a deep pitching staff for Georgia. They kind of rely on guerrilla ball, which means they just go out there and mash and hope they win in high-scoring affairs. And they're set up to be in a pretty good spot to be 2-0 if they can, once again, if they can kind of duplicate that here tonight. Once again, because of that performance from, I think it's Volkmer. He was unbelievable. That was impressive to watch.
And then the Knicks and Spurs, which we couldn't even what a wild series. Nobody could really say what was going to happen. I took the Spurs. I felt they were going to at least get one at home before losing in New York, but no. Knicks get it done, and you had New York.
Do you remember what I said when I did this? I said, I can't figure out this series. I want to say pick San Antonio, but because every time I think that's what's going to happen, it's always the opposite. So I rolled the Knicks, and guess what? It got me the win.
Yeah. I keep seeing so many videos of De'Aaron Fox, he played horrible in this series, man. He was kind of the difference, honestly. They just didn't have that point guard they needed to kind of counter Brunson.
What if Chris Paul could have done that,
Yeah. They should have rode with Chris Paul, yeah.
Chris Paul.
So that's all we have for picks. You're now 38-22. I'm 31-29. 7 games back. I got to start making a run.
You really got to start running here.
Yeah.
I'm pulling away here.
I know.
Only 2 games above 500. What? I'm 38-22. I'm 16 above 5.
Yeah.
Wow. Work to be done for
Exactly.
Mr. Wellbrock. Work to be done. There you go. Picks of the weekend. A recap right there from. Yeah, I keep laughing about that Knicks pick because I was watching some of that game and I was just like, yep, that pick it went exactly how I thought. I think the Spurs would win just because they got to win. Their backs are against the wall. They're at home. They're going to find a way to get it done. Nope, the Knicks found a way to get it done. Just like my gut told me to. Yeah, you better go with the Knicks because you just can't figure out this series at this point in time. All right, let's get to our final break. When we come back, we'll hit back with some of the weekend leftovers. What did we miss from weekend winners and losers? And what else did we miss from this past weekend in the world of sports? We will hit all that next. You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
When the skies turn dark and wind starts to roar, severe weather can strike fast. Thunderstorms can bring dangerous lightning, heavy rain, and powerful tornadoes, putting you and your family at risk. Stay ahead of the storm and tune into NWKS Radio for real-time weather updates, alerts, and life-saving information when it matters most. Wherever you are, whatever the weather, count on NWKS Radio to keep you safe and informed. Severe weather on NWKS Radio is courtesy of Roof Masters of Colby, Andrew Flanagan of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Straight Edge Construction.
Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland is rolling into summer with big offers on new GMCs. Get a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 elevation with $7,000 customer cash with trade-in or 0% for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days. Need heavy duty? Get the 26 GMC Sierra 2500 with $1,000 in rebates or 4.9% for 48 months. Plus save on 26 GMC Terrain and Arcadias with over $1,000 in rebates when you finance with GM Financial. See Earl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas or online at earlchev.com. GMC, professional grade.
You can feel it in the air. Longer days, greener lawns, and plenty of projects waiting around the house. Good thing Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland has you covered. Freshen up your home with Benjamin Moore paint, tackle the yard with powerful Ego battery tools, and give your lawn the boost it needs with Stage 1 Ultimate Fertilizer. Thinking about cooking outside? Check out their great selection of grills, griddles, smokers, and outdoor living essentials. And remember, if you need it, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware probably has it. They even have milk. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, your place for just about everything.
When fraud strikes, every second counts. At FNB Bank, we take your security seriously. Our local team monitors for suspicious activity and responds fast, so small issues don't turn into bigger problems. I'm Jessica Von Little at FNB Bank. We are your first line of defense, protecting you, your money, and your peace of mind. FNB Bank, local, trusted, here for you. Member FDIC.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
Here's a bright idea. Kansas deserves fiber internet. Not just Kansas City and Wichita. Little places like Buhler. That's where we started. IdeaTech provides high-speed fiber internet to 75 communities and counting. We're working to bring fiber to as many towns in Kansas as we can. High-speed internet shouldn't just be for the big cities. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
Get IdeaTech fiber internet at ideatech.com.
You're listening to the High Plains only local sports talk show.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The Morning Blitz.
All right, 10 minutes to go till the top of the hour here on a Monday show on the Morning Blitz. Ross Volkmer, Garrett Wellbrock with you here. We move into the weekend leftovers. What did we miss from the rest of the show? Of course, we highlight already, of course, the Rockies and the Royals both picking up wins yesterday. The Rockies in dominant fashion, 23-9, a franchise record there. The Royals getting it done with a 4-0 win over the Astros to avoid a series sweep. Tough news. You mentioned this a little bit, but we'll dive a little deeper. Royals have been hit with a couple of key injuries here recently. Vinny Pasquantino, their star first baseman. I don't know. Do you consider Vinny Pasquantino a star first baseman?
No, not at all. Honestly, I tell you what, if there's an offer on the table at the trade deadline for Vinny Pasquantino and it looks good enough, I think the Royals should pull the trigger. He just really, ever since he had that injury in the end of 2024 when the Royals were the playoff team when they snuck in the wild card, and they were playing really good. He was, I think, leading the team in RBIs, and he got hurt. I think it was like his wrist or something, and he's never been the same. In the last couple of years, he just hasn't been the player that I think they thought he was going to be.
He looked great once again in the World Baseball Classic. Mm-hmm. He played really good this spring. I mean, that's the reason why I drafted him on my fantasy team. And then it resulted in nothing. And so then I traded him away. So, Vinny Pasquantino, expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after undergoing surgery to repair a fractured hamate bone in his right hand. I mean, he just continues to have these wrist and hand injuries, and it's going to be harder and harder for him. And I saw that Ace Cole Reagans has suffered another setback in his recovery from an elbow injury, trying to work his way back to the rotation, but he suffered a setback, so his return is going to be delayed. He's going to get further evaluation there. So I don't know. I don't know if the Royals are going to be able to pull out of this little nosedive that they're in here in the 2026 season.
Yeah, it felt like it's kind of been over for a little while. They're holding on to a little bit of hope, but they just keep losing series. They take 1 out of 3, it seems, about every time. You got to turn those into 2 of 3, and then they're so far down, they got to start sweeping teams. It's just, it's going to be difficult. And like I said about the Pasquantino trade, obviously that injury could kind of maybe delay that a little bit. To see if teams are really wanting to send prospects to a guy that's just coming off the IL. We will see. I got actually a leftover for you. So we went back to going back to the Knicks winning the championship. So Dylan Jones on the Knicks. He is now a 2-time back-to-back NBA champ. He was on the Thunder last year. Now he was a New York Knick this year. Total of 0 minutes played in the NBA Finals, but hey, he's gonna have 2 rings to show for it.
Hey, it's never what you know, but who you know. If you're in the right spot at the right time, hey, you pick up some rings there. Nothing wrong with that. There was a guy, I don't know his name. I forget his name. I read it, but I don't remember his name. There was a guy who played for the Spurs, got traded to the Knicks.
Yes, Jeremy Sochan.
Yeah, and then he picked up enough minutes when he played for the Spurs or was with them for enough games that he could, if the Spurs would have come back and won, he still would have gotten a ring.
Yeah. It did not matter for him. He was getting one either way.
He was smoking a cigar in game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I got a ring no matter what, guys. I don't even have to play. I'm good.
Yeah.
Good on that. A cool piece. Landry Shamet, former Wichita State guard. He's an NBA champion. Of course, he was a part of the the New York Knicks and their title run, and actually had a little bit of a contribution at times with his 3-point shooting throughout this deal. So I don't know, that was some really, really good stuff there for sure. Trying to see what else we've got here on the leftovers here this morning. I was gonna make another comment about the Royals real quick. They just need to play the Mariners a little bit more.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No kidding. Mariners kind of hitting the injury bug as well too. They've lost, I think, just in this road trip. They had a 10-game road trip and they lost like 3 guys. They didn't. None of them have gone to the injured list yet, but like with one of their best outfielders, Randy Arozarena, he got hurt trying to leg out an infield single. I think he pulled his hamstring, and so he's probably out for some time. It's just like, man, you want your star players to run as hard as they can out the box, but at the same time, it's like, man, you don't want to get hurt. So it's kind of a tough in between.
Luckily, you're in that pitiful AFC, that AL West division.
Oh yeah,
that thing's pretty sad.
Oh yeah. Somebody tweeted out yesterday about the Mariners, if they had this record, I think are they 500, maybe one game above, like 37-36, I think.
That is the record currently, yes.
Yeah, so that record in the last 5 years and where they would have stacked in the AL West, like in the past seasons, and it was like 9 games back of first place, 8 games, like 5 or 6, and they're in first this year, so seems like the right year to be that bad.
If they were in the National League, they would be out of the playoffs.
Not surprised.
They would be out of the playoff race if we sit here today. But you know what? I mean, the Athletics are just a game back of you. So are the Texas Rangers. So what a division that is. What a division that is.
I actually got one more for you, Ross. I saw that Colby High School's baseball, softball coaches, Todd Kane, Tucker Branham, they were both finalists for the Sports in Kansas Coaches of the Years in 3A. So congratulations to them.
Absolutely, congratulations to them. And they had phenomenal years. They were fantastic. I'm kind of a little bit jaded on those Coach of the Year things because I feel like they just say, well, hey, there's 8 coaches named. Well, there's 8 teams that go to the state tournament.
Yeah.
So why don't the teams that make it to state, we just give the coaches the chance? And then guess what? If you win state, you're the Coach of the Year. I mean, that's how I kind of feel about that. No offense to Todd or Tucker and those guys. They did have phenomenal years. They were phenomenal coaches. Their teams were really good this year, and they made it all the way to the state tournament. They deserve the credit, the recognition. But if I was in there, she'd be like, well, I made it to the state tournament, so I guess I am a finalist. So yeah, okay, and we didn't win it, so I'm not the Coach of the Year. I no offense to the people who sports in Kansas and people, I doubt they're out there who really knows, who took a team full of ragtag guys and won, 8 games this year, and they probably shouldn't have won one.
Mm-hmm.
Give the Coach of the Year to that guy. That's where I'm kind of like, it's once again, great honor and no doubt deserving. They were fantastic. They both led their teams to state tournaments. And they deserve that recognition. But I'm also kind of like, if I was in their shoes, I'd be like, well, I mean, we were one of the 8 best teams in the state this year that made the state tournament. So we should get some recognition. And they do. So yes, I would agree that they definitely deserve that recognition. Before we get to the walk-off, actually, you know what? Let's get to the walk-off. I'll hit this in the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
So news this morning coming out that NBA draft prospect and former Kansas Jayhawk Darren Peterson has visited the Washington Wizards, of course, who own the number 1 pick in this next week's draft. But he does not plan on meeting with other teams. He's only going to go visit with the Wizards, which apparently makes him think that he's going to be the number 1 overall pick taken. Don't forget BYU's AJ DeBonsa is also in the mix there. So, and both, according to sources, DeBonsa and Peterson both have belief they're going to be the top pick.
Yeah, I saw some on DeBonsa about that. He was like, saying he's been number 1 his whole life, number 1 prospect in high school, number 1, number 1 pick, hopefully, in the draft, and also the guy at BYU. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it's DeBonsa. I don't know about you. I feel like he's probably got the edge on Peterson just a little bit, but it's really 1A, 1B, it feels like.
I feel like it is DeBonsa. At least I guess if I was in the shoes of the Wizards, I would take him. At least there's more most recent, evidence of him competing at this level. I mean, Darren Peterson sat out a lot, and and I don't care if you're trying to blame creatine or not for whatever the reasoning for it. You've got lots of things that you got to get figured out there if you're going to take Darren Peterson. So I don't know. Apparently the Wizards, don't get me wrong. He is an exceptional player, and I think he will be a really good pro. I just think DeBonsa, is probably going to be the guy that's taken number 1 overall. We'll see.
Now, I feel like all around DeBonsa is probably the better prospect. Peterson might be the better shooter and scorer, but I think all around you look at defense, athleticism, probably would lean on DeBonsa. And like you said, Darren Peterson couldn't even make it through about a 30-game season. How's he going to handle an 82? We will see. Only time will tell.
Don't take as much creatine.
Yeah, there you go. Or any. You don't need it.
Yeah,
You're a basketball player. You don't need to be jacked.
Yeah, you'll be fine. We'll see you tomorrow on the Blitz.